know what? And that's just what we do. We can take and look at the Ten Commandments where it says to honor our father and our mother. And we can hold that and we can do that every single day. And then turn around and just in what we consider minute things or just little things, we can purely disrespect God. There's no use of holding respect for our father and our mother when we can disrespect God. You talking about a rattlesnake for a very deadly snake. When we take and overlook those small things, the things that aren't wrote on the side of the road, or things that aren't wrote in the tabernacle, the things that are there and you know about them, but we don't pay attention to them. What kind of music we listen to, is that a big thing? There's so many things that are there that we know that are disrespectful to God, but we just don't pay attention. You know, it's a lot of times it's not the Ten Commandments that bring us down. It's just a few small things that we don't pay attention to. And then that allows a place for sin to grow. You know, it's things small like, that when we decide we can miss a couple Sunday nights or a couple Wednesday nights. I guarantee you that there's a lot of people here tonight I think can justify missing tonight because, today was a bigger event. But God didn't say that. God didn't say, well, because you had an extra, a different day, or you stayed a little longer, then you know what? I just cancel everything for you. You don't have to serve me. But there's a lot of people that are routinely not coming now because they allow little things to get in their way. It wasn't big things. They didn't go murder somebody. But you know what they did? They found other things to put in this slot. Just a few times, but now they're there all the time. They've grown. And then you know what? Where that is, then there's a room for more to grow. And more things. And then you know what? It becomes out of control. You no longer have the awareness you had when you were walking with God. You no longer have that deep burden of sin when you were walking close to God. You no longer have that power to move the obstacles out of your way like you did when you were walking with God. One of the greatest snake story I can ever tell you is my granddaddy and granny were walking on through the pasture. And all of a sudden, just my granddaddy disappeared. They were walking along, holding hands, taking one of those Sunday strolls around the yard through, the pasture. My granddaddy just up and disappeared, and his granny catches it, and then suddenly, Carl, what is it? What is it? You didn't see that snake? When that snake comes on, God will be here. You see, when we replace God for these things of the world, that's what we're going to be left with when the great danger comes. It's an empty spot. The world won't be here. The friends of the world won't be here. All those things that we had that replaced God won't be here. I'm going to tell you tonight that you can look around and you can catch these things tonight. You can remember, these small things that are around, we always consider small are dangerous. And I want them out of my life, so that I can continue to walk holding my Savior's hand. Holding my Savior's hand. One of the most chilling scriptures I have ever read was when Samson, the Bible talks about Samson. He had played and he had his focus so much on Delilah. And his attention so much on me that later on the scripture said God had left him. Now, take the strongest man in the world in the hugest presence, the greatest presence known to man is the presence of God. Just coming face to face with Noah, burn his face. That's just the glory of God. Burn him. The Bible said that God had left him. He didn't even know it. You understand that? He was so focused on that sin that was in front of him. He didn't think he could ever be destroyed by sin. He never understood that that sin was more than just the rattlesnake that you hear. It's that little bitty sin that snuck up on him and destroyed him. Got him to a place where God left him. Now, I want to tell you something. God still knew him. God was still around. Even when he cried out to God, God was where he didn't. Samson didn't come not saved, but the power of God left him because he went out of the wilderness. He toyed with sin. He didn't just jump out there and do it, but he toyed with it a little bit at a time. You know, he didn't really give up his and God's secret. Not the first time, the second time, the third time. But what he did is he toyed with it long enough that he grabbed his focus. That it got a hold of him. And that sin's power, that little sin had turned into such a big sin in his life that he didn't even recognize the power of God leading. You understand that? Now the day started out with just a little flirt and laugh, carrying on with the enemy of God. But it ended up with a man in chains and his head shook. Because he told small things that become big. I want to tell you, every one of us can look around. A lot of times you'll hear things like, it don't hurt to look. Yes, it does. God tells us that adultery within our heart is adultery. We watch women and think about being with them. That's sin. Now, it may not be thou shalt commit adultery, and it may not be spelled out for you, but I can guarantee you that that's the thing that we find that a lot of times we consider just minute can lead to it. There's a lot of ways that like that we put things that we can water them down, like the white lie, the list of white lies, or looking doesn't hurt, just so I don't do this. Those are ways to talk ourselves in to sin. We stay away from the congregation, as well as stay